Hi, welcome to ecopenny, where we're saving the earth one tip at a time. This is a video I didn't plan to make. I've accidentally filled up the diesel Forester with unleaded petrol. Oh no! According to the RAA, or the Royal Automobile Association of South Australia, misfueling vehicles costs the economy about $10 million a year, and there's an estimated 7,500 incidents per year, which is pretty bad. But at least I'm not the only one, which makes me feel a little bit better. So according to them, about 83% have minor repairs that are needed, and the remaining 17% have major repairs. So hopefully I'm in that 83% category with just some minor repairs. But anyway, let's see what happens. So it's very important, if you've got a diesel car, to fill up with diesel, and obviously a petrol car to fill up with petrol. So if you do miss fuel, it can be, probably in my case, I think it's just a bit of tiredness and not concentrating properly. In 24 years of driving, I've never done this, so it's the very first time. I feel very ashamed and annoyed, but anyway, it's happened, and that's it, it's happened. So the incorrect fuel in a diesel, so you put petrol in a diesel, the petrol obviously doesn't burn properly, the engine's not made for it, and it also doesn't lubricate some of the parts in the injectors and the fuel pumps. So basically the engine isn't going to run properly, which I've found out in my case, and it's going to damage the engine. If you do fill up with the wrong fuel and realise before you drive off that you've done it, the important thing is don't drive off. Don't turn the ignition on, don't turn the engine on. You have to get the people to help you push the car to a safe spot in the petrol station, and don't do anything with the car, don't run it. That's the, if I have to say an easiest option, that's the easiest option or the best option. And the cheapest option, because all we've got to do is get it towed from the petrol station to a mechanic or a car dealer, and they've got to basically drain the tank and then refill it with the correct fuel. As soon as you drive the car, which I did, and I didn't realise till about a few kilometres after driving, the engine was spluttering a bit and shuddering a bit, and it just felt awful, and acceleration was awful. So I only drove about 8 kilometres home, quickly parked the car in the garage and just turned it off. Initially I thought it was maybe a fuel contamination problem, and I looked at the receipt, and the receipt said unleaded. I thought, oh, how could I have done this? Anyway, I rang the petrol station, gave them the receipt number, and they confirmed, yeah, it's definitely filled up with unleaded. So if you do drive with the wrong fuel, the important thing is to stop as soon as you can in a safe place, pull over and turn the car off. So if you have driven it, it's a similar thing, you've got to get it towed. So this morning I had mine towed to the Subaru dealership, as the video shows. And basically if you run the car, there's an increased risk of damaging the engine. So hopefully I'll just need the engine flushed and the fuel filter replaced and the tank drained and flushed, but I'll just have to wait. It might be a few days until they can do it, so luckily I've got the e-bike to commute in the meantime. Yeah, so basically anyone watching, just be careful when you're filling up every time. Make sure you're not using diesel if you've got a petrol car, or petrol if you've got a diesel car. Just spend that extra second just to have a look. Even if you're busy, you're tired, you've got kids in the car screaming or whatever, you're late for an appointment, just spend that extra second just to make sure you don't fill up with the wrong fuel, because potentially the bill can go into the thousands if you start damaging engine components like fuel injectors and fuel pumps and things like that. So hopefully this is, will save one other person from doing the wrong thing. So just to let motorists just be aware, don't fill up with the wrong fuel. Not only does it waste your time, risks damaging the car and costs thousands in repair costs, but you're also wasting fossil fuels. So they've got to drain the unleaded petrol that I put in my car. They've got to drain that and dispose of it however they do it in an environmentally sensitive way. So I basically wasted a tank of unleaded petrol fossil fuels. So it is, if 7,500 people are doing it roughly every year in Australia, it's wasting an awful amount of fuel as well as damaging cars and wasting time. So yeah, just basically be careful when you're filling up. Try not to make the same mistake that I have. And we'll see later on, hopefully the car's all right, but I'll find out in a few days how it's gone.